to, right? No? Lauren! 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 Come here. Come here. Now I want you to just to check my stream. Yeah, yeah, check my stream. What's going on.
Alright. Wow, that sounds so weird.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, that sounds so weird. I'm muted. Yeah, just what? No, watch me. Alright, let's do this. Let me first go. No, I'll just stay here. I will forget it. Okay, I think. No, that's no, not. Alright, no, just leave it right here. Alright, I think this ends my OBS stream. Or my, testing of it anyway. I just need 2 more endings. I should be on. Check. I think this is right here. No? It says I'm on though.
You're on.
Alright, find me, Lily. Find me. Tell me how I sound, alright? It's good? Alright. Thank you, Lily. Wait, what? Why did I move? That's weird. There we go, I guess. That was weird. So I guess it moves by itself. Okay, I have to make sure. Unless I moved it. I don't know. Alright, back. Alright, let's finish this. Where we last left off, some girl killed us. I think it was Lillian. Skip. She killed us. She killed us hard. Alright. Hold on. There we go. I pick her up. Then I skip again. This time I confront the cat. I skip again. This time I just keep her captured. And I last time, remember, we don't kill cats here, alright? Even though it's just a story. Because we never know if the cat might be a girl. Alright? We should doubt her. I mean, she is a cat. Then we don't kiss her, and this is gonna unlock the next ending. Despite how adorable she is, well, there's something about her explanation that doesn't sound right at all. Everything seems too convenient to be true. It is impossible or for luck to suddenly have improved. While I think about it, she unexpectedly gets closer to me, and then looks at me with puppy eyes, so adorable they could charm anyone. Aren't you going to do it? She asks with innocence. I don't know what to do in this situation. Wait. Before we do that, we haven't even properly introduced ourselves. I said, clearly nervous. I can feel my heart beating anxiously as the girl stares at me. She blinks confused and then smiles sweetly. My name is Lillian. She doesn't look angry in the least. This girl definitely has something special. My name is Axel. I said it in a robotic voice. However, It doesn't seem to bother her. I show her a nervous smile. I had to say something else to stop her, but nothing comes to my mind. Without any shyness, Lillian gets closer to me. She has no problem in taking the initiative. Her eyes suddenly become naughty. Something in them makes my blood warm. It's a pleasure, Axel. I very much appreciate your help. She brings her lips closer to mine and then places her arms around my neck to prevent my escape. The gesture alone freezes me in place. I watch her slowly approach me closer and closer until I feel her soft lips against mine. At that moment, I felt as if I had been possessed. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately, as if we were lovers seeing each other after a long time. I close my eyes. I don't need to see. I only need to feel the warm love and taste of her lips. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed a sword made of ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kiss and pull away from her. Oh, what did you do? I asked, looking incredulously at the girl. What was going on? I feel so cold, as if someone had stolen half the heat from her body. I also feel heavy as stone, but there was no answer. Before she can talk, suddenly something attacks us. Oh, here, hold on. I had to go here. Then, here. Then, no. Go back. Huh, I wonder where it is. Oh, right here. Uh, how do I add this? Oh, add. Huh. I am clearly missing something. Oh man, I should have done this before. Wow. I don't know how to... Oh, never mind. It's working. Let me go back. Let me go back here. And go back here. Alright. Before she can talk, suddenly something attacks us. With such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what that was. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. The blow was strong enough to push me away from Lillian. She seemed equally as surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. The answer surprised me. You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Ashley said, fierce. Suddenly she takes my hand with superhuman strength. It was vastly superior to what her thin appearance would suggest. She dragged me away from the cabin as if kidnapping me. I couldn't do anything to stop her. 3:23 a.m. What? In just a few minutes, we got very far from the cabin. How quickly Ashley can run impresses me. She is definitely not human. She finally lets me free. My hand was red and hurt from how strong her grip was, but fortunately I feel better from the kiss. My body had recovered its heat and energy. Why the heck did you do that? I asked immediately with anger. Who does this cat think she is to do something like this? I should be the one asking that, Ashley replied, looking at me in the eyes with contempt. Because of you, she has already recovered most of her powers. She then explained, ending with a face of rejection, diverting her look from my eyes. She was overreacting. Maybe. What are you talking about? She only wants to be free from you, I said with annoyance. I simply couldn't believe her. Neither of the two girls in this forest seemed trustworthy. That is misfortunate, considering how beautiful they are. You really are an idiot. And she loves that word, Ashley said, looking at me with her red eyes full of contempt. Yes, she wants to be free, to fulfill her revenge. Can't you understand that? The only one that I don't understand here is you. My patience had ended long ago. I'm not in the mood for a scalding. Stupid human, to be so easily seduced by her. All men are equal. None can think with the right head. Ashley folds her arms and exclaims with annoyance, while looking at me as if I were a spoiled child. Because of your reckless actions, we are in serious trouble. Ashley sighs, frustrated. If only you had believed me, this wouldn't be happening. But what are you talking about? She must be freed since she's suffering, I said without hesitation. I could not forget the sweet words of that girl Lillian. Suddenly, Ashley gives me a piercing look, sharp as a knife. Why do you believe her story? She's deceiving you, idiot. That's what she wants you to believe. How do you know that? I asked, being suspicious. I do not like this girl. She's really too bossy and nagging. You idiot! Didn't you notice when she was absorbing your vital energy? Ashley said, tearing down in a second. All of my doubt and resistance, with a look of anger in her red eyes. Yes, that's what she was doing. Absorbing you just like she did in the past with those 5 unfortunate men, she explained while staring at me. The latest victim was 20 years ago. Since that day, I promised that nobody else would get close to her. Hearing that called my attention immediately. And why did you do that? Ashley looked distraught after speaking of the death of that man. I wonder if she felt guilty for that. If she gets her hands on one more victim, she will fully recover her powers. And once she achieves it, she will begin her revenge for what your ancestors did to her. Worst of all is that the energy you have given her, she is now able to leave this forest and search for her last victim. Oh, is that true? Asked incredulously. Why did he like idiot and incredulously? I see that word everywhere. I didn't like the sound of it. If it's true, we can be in big trouble. Not only me, but everyone. Ashley bites her lips with anxiety. Yes. What's worse is I have no energy to deal with her. Ah. After saying that, she looks at me in anger. Oh. Since a certain group of idiots decided to come here for God knows what. See, I can't respond to that. I only feel guilty. You should feel. I could get rid of your friends, but for some reason I couldn't with you. You have a stronger magical power than normal. Actually explains, ending with a sigh of frustration. What did you do with my friends? I asked firmly without even hesitating. Thinking that they could be wounded gave me force, but perhaps I was just overreacting. Don't worry, they're safe. I only made them leave from the forest. Ashley replied, folding her arms. Then she sighs. By creating the illusions and getting them out left me very weakened. Is that why you were lying on the ground when I found you? I said, recalling that moment. She was wounded and unconscious. I couldn't help but feel sorry for her at that time. Yes, but it also didn't help that I had a fight with the innocent princess you saw before. She looks back at me unpleased, but this time just for a moment. After saying that, we both remained quiet, allowing silence to surround us. It's been a while since I last heard a voice calling me. I don't think that I ceased being useful to Lillian, as Ashley said. Suddenly, Ashley snaps her fingers. Wait, there's still a chance, she said, full of energy. There's a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Then she sets her sights on me. Hear me well. This is the only way to defeat her. Ashley speaks with her usual arrogance, but I notice a slight blush on her cheeks. What is it? I asked, curious to hear her idea. Do you remember what she asked you to do to help her regain power? Ashley asked, blushing more. She then coughs a few times to clear her throat. Yes. She told me to kiss her. I replied without even thinking about it. But shortly after, I realized what I'm saying. Yep. Wait, you want me to kiss you too? I asked in uncertainty. I don't know if I should feel lucky or used, to be honest. Idiot! She says it all the time. It's not that I want a kiss from you. Ashley roared. Then she diverts her sight from my eyes, making a snort of rejection. It's just that it's the only way to achieve this. Besides, what she did was not kissing you, it was stealing your life energy. What she did was stealing my vital energy with a kiss. How ironic. I said sarcastically. The memory was still fresh on my lips. If not for the small detail of the death of vital energy, it would have been a great kiss. Ashley at that time seems to shiver. Then she looks at me furious. It seems that your brain does not understand the complexity of the issue. I do not plan to steal your life energy. My intention is to get your energy from your feelings of love. Ooh. After saying that, she looks away embarrassed. Did I hear right? Something here sounds completely wrong. Wait, what are you trying to say? Ashley coughed twice to clear her throat. If your feelings for me are full of love, I can regain my energy. Yes, she said, unable to look me in the eyes. Her face is red as an apple. This has to be a joke. But that's impossible. How can I feel love for someone I just met? I wouldn't say this to anyone. Please help me, insignificant human, she said with forced arrogance. At the same, she looks at me saying with her eyes that I should be thankful. The way in which she acts is not very correct, honestly, but she did her best effort to do so. That can be seen in plain sight. However, should I trust her word? She has been causing me many problems tonight. I was even chased, attacked, and kidnapped by her. Then, should I? Should I believe and help her, or I can't trust her? To be honest, I think believe and help her is the right answer. And I want to get the worst ending first. So I'm gonna say I can't trust her, but I'm gonna do that the other option right after this one. I'm sorry, I can't believe in what you say. Oh my God, she stopped blushing. I said suddenly with a voice more serious than before. That's no joke. I feel bad for saying it, but it's how I really feel. You attacked me and my friends. Why should I help you? The face Ashley makes says it all. She simply cannot believe it. But, but, she murmured with disbelief reflecting on her red eyes. She seemed hurt, but there is no turning back. I'm sorry, but this is my decision, I said, putting an end to the conversation. Goodbye. I then added, starting to walk back to the cabin. Okay, go! Just go back to her. Ashley suddenly said, furious. Truth is, I can't blame her. I hope you don't regret it later. Not saying more, I distanced myself from her, one step at a time. Before losing sight of her, I take a look back. She is on her knees, facing towards the ground. I feel sorry for her, but I already made my decision. I wonder how Lillian is doing. I hope she is well, since we were attacked by Ashley for no reason. No doubt I felt something when I kissed her. But perhaps there's more behind it than when I heard from Ashley. I should go talk to her. Yeah, he dead. Dead. He dead. 3:35 a.m. He dead. He's dying. Finally, I'm here. Again, the image of the old cabin stands in front of my eyes. Oh, wait, what? No, go back. No, no. I missed it. No. Oh, I sighed, doubting for a second, but I have to be... Okay, okay. I sighed, doubting for a second, but I have to be strong. Arming myself with courage, I go towards the cabin and prepare to knock on the door. But just at that moment, someone or something stopped me. Axel! Before I knew it, Lillian opens the door and gives me a warm hug, excited to see me back. It seems that she heard my footsteps as I approached. Or perhaps she has some power of observation. Either way, it doesn't matter. She is here and seems happy to see me. Brave knight, you're back safe and sound, Lillian said while looking me in the eyes with tenderness, then giving me a sweet smile. It seems impossible she could do something as evil as Ashley said. Yes, it seems so. I murmured without much emotion. I was more than confused. No matter what I do, something always seemed to be wrong. Don't worry about me. I'm much better now thanks to the help you gave me. Lillian ends with a sweet smile. However, now I shall reward you for coming back to my side. The last thing she says calls my attention instantly. Reward me? I repeated inquisitively. What kind of reward can she be talking about? Of course, since you managed to escape from the claws of that horrible Ashley, and you've shown loyalty to me, that is why you will have your reward. After saying that, Lillian's eyes turn naughty. She looks into my eyes with a playful smile. Suddenly she approaches her face close to mine. I can smell her feminine scent. Before there wasn't any sense she had yet to truly materialize. Close your eyes, and you will receive your reward. Lillian says those words very gently. There is something charming in her voice. I cannot resist her. Before I knew it, I had closed my eyes as she asked me. At that moment, her lips and mine come together again. Only this time, it's much more intense. I can feel her heat, softness in more detail. Our kiss is much more passionate than the one before. Without any shame, we kissed, overflowing with lust and desire. Suddenly, I feel my strength leave my body. She holds me tight so I don't fall down as if I were a toy. After kissing her from the bottom of my heart, I'm left without any energy. My skin is pale and my body feels cold and heavy as if made of lead. Don't worry, I won't take your life, Lillian said full of pride. Besides, I have more than enough energy to accomplish my vengeance. You see the eyes? It just changed. Suddenly she smiles. It is a malicious smile that I never would have wanted to see. Wait, did she say revenge? My mind barely works now. Everything looks fuzzy. Everything is so confusing. I don't even seem to mind hearing that or imagine how cruel it could be. Thankfully, there is something broken in me. You've shown loyalty to me, so you'll be my partner in this eternity. Oh, wow. That kiss was our contract. You shall be my servant and will obey me, and please me in everything that I need. Nice. After saying that, Lillian suddenly begins to laugh, an eerie laughter filled with joy. Yes, my lady, was all I could say, without showing any rejection, without any resistance. My body and my mind had ceased to be under my control. It's my first slave. How pleasing. I better be your only slave, alright? Your first and only slave, alright? I never thought that I would find a human so stupid but at the same time noble as you. I think I was lucky. Lillian looks at the time, reflects a seductive malice. They are cruel blue eyes that love to be like that. But there is a problem. A slave without power is not useful. She pauses and snaps her fingers. I know. I will share some of my power with you. Count yourself lucky. After saying that, she laughs painfully. Then she sets her gaze on me. Nice. I suddenly feel that my strength is returning to normal. She lets go of me, and I have no problem standing on my own. But soon I realize that I was wrong. I feel even stronger than before. Great. Now just one more thing left to do, Lillian said as she looks at me with a mischievous smile. Surely she wasn't thinking anything good. But before she could say more, something interrupts her. Ashley appeared in front of the two. Thankfully you still live. Come with me, we can still beat her. You're too late. Ashley shouted, sounding almost desperate. I hear it, but even if I want it, my body does not respond. I am completely still, as if it were a statue. You idiot! What are you waiting for? Flee! Ashley said, seeing my lack of reaction, sounding even more desperate. Here, the only idiot is you, don't you realize? It was not necessary to kill him to carry out my plan. Lillian responded, overflowing with pride and confidence. The look in her blue eyes said it all. She already had the victory in her hands. Ashley freezes for a second from the impression. She was stunned. Wait, what are you trying to say? She asked, full of disbelief that was visible in plain sight. Lillian smiles. Simple. He gave me all of his energy, and as a reward, I allowed him to be my slave. First and only slave. You lie! Lie, lie! Ashley doesn't take the news well. She screams furiously while looking with hatred at Lillian. The enmity of the two must be something deeper than what I imagined. No, it is the truth, was the simple response to Lillian, displaying a confident smile that was almost insulting to see. Ashley bites her lower lip in anguish. Her eyes at the time become sharp. I didn't expect to have to use this method, but there is no other option. Suddenly Ashley's nails grow long and sharp as knives. She points to her own jugular. Stop her! Ordered Lillian without hesitation. At that moment, I feel my body disintegrate, and before I knew it, I was right next to Ashley. In less than a blink, I had changed positions. By pure instinct, I grab her arms and stop Ashley. No! Let go of me, you giant idiot! I have to do this or you don't know what will happen. She tries to escape, but now I have more strength. Superhuman strength. I will not allow you to do that, Lillian said, ending with a short laugh. Then she smiles, full of confidence, partially hiding her lips behind one hand with elegance. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let... Ashley repeats the same thing over and over, but little by little, she becomes quieter. A accepting her defeat. She then lowers her head in silence. It appeared something was stealing her power. It's my fault. Something is no other than me. You will be my main guest, Ashley, of how I carry out my revenge. You don't have to worry about those idiot humans. Besides, deep down you wanted it too. Ashley silently accepts her fate. It breaks my heart to see her like that, but no matter how hard I try, my body doesn't listen to me. Not even a single muscle. Tonight, I will fulfill the reason of my existence. How beautiful. After so long waiting for this day, finally they will know my revenge. Finally! Lillian looks very different from when I first saw her. She now can't stop laughing with euphoria. Every single one of her laughs leaves a scar in my heart. Now I understand my mistake. Now that it is too late, my body has become her first and only slave. I'm just a first and only puppet now, waiting for my only lady to pull my strings. That night, I was a witness to the most heinous acts someone could commit. Murders, torture, screams, blood, tears. I saw all of this more than once each. Family, friends and neighbors were murdered, and I couldn't do anything about it. No, that isn't right. My own hands were the ones who took their lives. I still remember their faces in agony, silently begging me to stop. But no matter how much I wanted to, my will is controlled by someone else. I am just a puppet now, waiting for my mistress to pull my strings. An eternal life filled with misery is all that awaits me now. In my despair, I managed to break the control of Lillian, but just for long enough to make a single move. Surrounded by death and fire, I shout a loud and heartbreaking scream to the sky. My voice echoes all over, carrying a message of pain for which there are no words. My revenge in this town is fulfilled. However, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Lillian pauses. She beholds the destruction of the town with satisfaction, and then turns to look at me with a smile. We are leaving. Yes, my princess. We are leaving. Leaving. You are so cute. Seeing her smile makes my heart pound. Although I'm just a one and only puppet, first and only, now I still keep a fragment of my conscience, but already corrupted. Her revenge and smile inspire love instead of hatred, because my life and world are only Lillian now. We will always be together for all eternity. Of course, I will always protect you, help you, and love you for all eternity. I will do everything so that my lady, my princess, can be happy. I couldn't expect any less from you, my loyal servant. You truly are my knight in silver armor. Town of Abingdon, Oxfordshire County, November 12th. There's still more? Like, she already killed everybody. What's going on? It's been over 1 week since the discovery of this total slaughter in the small town. Police still have no clues about what happened here. The evidence is scattered everywhere, explained the chief of police, William Lame. It's as if we were trying to find a needle in a haystack. An explanation for why everyone suddenly decided to kill the neighbors. Wait, what? And commit suicide later. But sadly, there isn't one. In this case, the needle does not exist. So far, everything seems to point that it was a pagan ritual. This town years ago was related to witches and other supernatural legends. But there is no doubt these deaths were the result of nothing but human actions. We will continue with the investigations. The chief sounded confused, but in reality, all the country is. Literally, in a single night, all the inhabitants of a Big Dawn died by the hand of their own neighbors. They were not just murders, many were tortured too. According to the investigations, more than 1,000 people were buried alive in this instant. Oh my god. Nice, Lillian. Alright. That's Lillian. But she is not Bay. She is just Lillian. Can we what? It won't let me skip this. Well, that is some poor design. It won't. Why is this so? Alright, this is not my intention. This is the game. I have clicked and then clicked again, and then clicked a third time, and then I clicked multiple times, and it did not work. And I cannot skip this. So, we will look at the credits and be in awe about the people who did this, which seems just to be 3 people. And me, because I played the game they played. No problem. Thank you for the game. Is that it? Alright, great. We go to extra. We go to endings. Lillian, Princess of Destruction. Back. Start. If anybody's watching, don't be afraid to comment down below. Tell me how you like this. Skip. Yeah, if I could save, I will save here, but it won't let me. Pick her up. Confront. Just keep her captured. Doubt. Don't do it. Now we believe and help her. Ashley! I can't ignore her petition. I know that she has not been the kindest girl, but somehow I think she is telling the truth. Okay, I'm going to help you. But tell me, what should I do? I asked at the same time. I look at her red eyes with determination. Ashley nods a couple of times. She seems pleased with my answer. It's simple. Just share your feelings of love towards me. She now responds with more confidence. I can't help but sigh after hearing it. Something here is wrong. I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. Well, we just met each other. I do feel some empathy for you, but it wouldn't be right to call it love. I explain with frustration in my face. She asks too much from me. Ashley then places a hand against her lips, making a pensive gesture. I see. It is a feeling that cannot be achieved in a single day. Of course not, silly cat. Have you never been in love? Well, there is one alternative, but I don't want to use it because it would do you harm. I blink confused after hearing her. What is the alternative? I asked while staring at her face. To suck your vitality as Lillian did. Ashley explains with a very serious look. She then diverts her gaze, feeling disgusted at the simple idea. But I'm not going to do it. If I remove the vital energy you have left, you will die. Certainly, I do not want that. Then, if you don't have enough energy to fight, what will you do? This is not looking good. If you don't have those feelings for me, there is not much that can be done, replied Ashley, ending with a sigh of annoyance. Anyway, I will go and face her, even if I have to give my life in the fight. She says it with so much simplicity that it seems she doesn't care for her own life. Wait, is there really nothing I can do to help you? I interrupted immediately. I cannot let her just go like that. At least I had to do something, however small that may be. How could you help me? The look Ashley gave called me an idiot without saying a word. While we're on the same team, I think that some things simply will never change. I I stay silent for a moment, looking down while I think on a solution. Ashley stares at me impatient. I don't feel love towards you, but once I felt it for someone else. I could try to remember those feelings so that you can use them as energy. Ashley thinks deeply for a moment. I guess it's worth a try. She said not sounding very convinced, but was certainly better than nothing. After that, the two of us stared at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds while saying the word. Then, we suddenly divert our looks at the same time, embarrassed. We were acting like kids. Are you ready? Ashley acts almost lovingly. It's easy to notice that she was taking this seriously. I nod. Yes, whenever you want, we can start. I replied just before closing my eyes and turning with all my heart to revive that image. Trying. Suddenly, as she holds my hands, even with my eyes closed, I can feel her presence near. That makes me somewhat nervous, but I have to relax. I exhale, letting my concerns go out with my breath. Her hands softly caress mine to help me relax. Then I start to remember something that happened many years in the past. When I was young, every summer I went to my grandparents' house to visit them. I didn't like it because they had nothing fun there, only an old TV and dusty books that I had no interest in reading. However, whenever I went there, I could see her, girl with brown long hair, who always had a cute dress. When I saw her for the first time, I could feel a strange fascination for her, for her fragile and inexplicable beauty. I watched her at a distance, without knowing what this feeling was. I only knew that something in her called me. It was more than beautiful. It was more than just beautiful. Her beauty was something with many layers, with many facets. Her gestures, her expressions, her way of playing, they were all beautiful. Finally, one day I had the courage to ask her to play together. Without even thinking about it, she told me yes. All that afternoon we spent playing until it inevitably began to get dark. She was a simple girl, enjoying playing as anyone else, but I still could not remove my eyes from her. When the day ended, she said goodbye to me with a radiant smile. I had forgotten it, how beautiful it was, how astonished I was at seeing it. After that day, I never got to see her again. Last thing I knew, her family moved to another country. I do not know if that was a predestined love or just my inexperienced feelings confused with something new. But without a doubt, it was beautiful. I do not want to forget it again. Never again. Then, unexpectedly, I feel Ashley giving me a shy kiss on the lips. It was inferior, only lasted enough to feel it, to know that it was real. But at the same time, that shyness gave it a special beauty. It was a sweet kiss. There are no more words to describe it. I opened my eyes, finding Ashley one step away from me, completely blushing, looking away from me. She is silent, but doesn't look angry in the least. Her red eyes are gentle, although embarrassed. Are you alright? I asked with kindness while I look at her. My heart is calmed quickly after the kiss. I don't show it, but somehow I feel liberated, lighter. Ashley turns her head to look at me in the eyes. Yes, thank you, she said with shyness. However, she then breathes deeply and magically recovers her proud attitude. I believe that this will be enough to stop her. The plan was a success. I'm really pleased. That's fantastic to hear. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she is not scalding, I must confess that she is very cute. Anyway, we can't wait any longer. Every second we talk, Lillian must be using it to plan her revenge. We have to go now and stop her. Ashley explains, acting with complete seriousness. Our little break had ended. Yes, let's go. Was my short response overflowing with determination. There was no more to say. What is that noise? 3:40 a.m. The way back to the cabin feels short this time. Before I knew it, it was in front of my eyes. Lillian is outside next to the door. She was waiting for us. "Great night. I see you finally came," she said with a confident smile. Her attitude is very different from the first time I saw her. Just from looking at her, I'm sure of it. She's not any innocent soul. "It's a shame to see you with that woman. I had hopes for you." "Axel won't be fooled by you again," Ashley replied, talking my place. At that moment, I see Lillian make a grimace of disgust, but soon she recovers her look of confidence. "I wanted Axel to be my companion since he kindly came to rescue me. But oh well, it's not important. I already got enough energy from him. With that alone, I have surpassed you. Finally, I'll be able to get rid of you, Ashley," said Lillian, pronouncing her name with a mocking tone. Got it. While giving us a malicious smile. Her victory was in the palm of her hand. Ashley instantly roared, furious. "We won't know until we try it." "Wait, what? You don't say that like that." "Okay. We won't know until you try it." After saying that, she crosses her arms with pride. "Once I beat you, nothing shall stop me from completing my revenge." "Why do you want to do that? It's been far too long. The people who hurt you are already gone, and not even the memory of the crime committed here exists anymore. It's just a village of innocent people." "You're right, but someone has to suffer," responded Lillian without hesitation, not doubting a single moment, leaving me completely cold. After seeing my reaction to her answer, she directed an evil smile right at me, as if her words meant nothing. That makes me angry. And what do you win by doing that?" I yelled at the same time. I closed my hands into fists. I simply couldn't accept it. It was too much. "I just want them to suffer like I did. If I don't make them suffer, then who will? Who will be the carrier of this hate that every day eats at me from inside like parasites, which sicken me and deform me?" Lillian pauses. "It is unfair that I continue to suffer while they are innocent." Lillian then speaks out at the same time. She hits her chest, showing how much that meant for her. "This is more than pain. It is proof of my existence." She pauses and exhales, calming herself. "Anyway, enough with speeches. I will end you and then bring my revenge to the townspeople." Then, without saying anything more, the battle between the two began. It was something that my mind could not comprehend. "What? Really? 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 We can't see me?" It was something my mind could not comprehend. Oh, wow. A show with power and magic to deform reality itself. Why? What? What? Ashley repeatedly attacks by firing a strange a strange translucent power as if a hot air. Just from seeing it, I know that it has enough strength to knock down a house, but Lillian doesn't even blink. She calmly moves a hand, creating a barrier that reflects her attacks each time. Interesting, it was Ashley who was more active. She attacked incessantly from many different angles, while Lillian stays still, reflecting her attacks and fighting back, always with a smile on her face. After seeing that those attacks will not have effect, Ashley changes strategy. She transforms herself into an imaginary white beast and charges against Lillian. However, Lillian transforms her body just like her into an unknown dark being and resists her attack. Ashley regains human form, making a grimace of disgust. Wait, what even? But both had wounds at this confrontation. But then, before my eyes, I see how they placed their hands on their wounds and healed them magically. Apparently, the two have the same powers. The only thing different was their personalities. There's simply no words to describe it. At least my mind was not able to find them. I only know that during the fight, neither of the two seemed to have an advantage over the others. Everything indicated it was an even match. On several occasions, I behold bright and colorful lights, superhuman abilities, multiplication of bodies and teleportation, healing, transformation, and many other powers that seem to come out of a fairy tale. The combat seems to last forever. What? Go back. Go back. Every second, every attack and defense were loaded with so much tension and emotion that time had simply disappeared from me. The only thing that captured my attention was seeing the two girls fighting in such a fantastic way. Finally, after an unknown time, will fall. I just rush in and drop kick Lillian. That's what I would do. On the ground, bloody, they look into each other's eyes. The blue eyes beheld the red ones, and vice versa. Both then smile. Ashley proudly, Lillian with irony. It seemed that two were anticipating the end. You did very well. I didn't expect it. Lillian said with honesty. You doubted me, stupid girl. Lillian replied with arrogance, even though her lips were stained with blood. Lillian then shows us a smile full of malice. Shows us a smile. Shows us a. You have always been like that. Even in a mutual death, you consider a victory. You really are an idiot. You are really an idiot. You are really an idiot. You should be more selfish. It's strange, but she does not sound angry in the least. You may be right, but all I wanted was to stop you, replied Ashley, proud of herself. There was not a hint of regret in her words. Okay, I accept my defeat. At least in these last moments of my life, I want to be in peace with you. Is that okay? Lillian responded with a friendly smile. To be honest, I was going to say the same thing. Ashley ends with an ironic smile. I silently watched them both as they talked, feeling a strange fascination mixed with an unmistakable feeling of sadness. I just met them this evening, but somehow it pains me to see them as that somehow I formed a bond with them. It was then that I see them slowly start to disappear. Suddenly the two turned to set their eyes on me, giving me one last smile. Goodbye, noble knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. It was an all-in act, Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart. She tried to kill you. Thank you, Ashley. I can't help but feel nostalgia at that moment. I knew this was going to be our last goodbye. Even if I didn't want to admit it, that was our fate. Is it all right for it to end like this? Don't worry. Everything will be fine now. Finally, my reason for existing has been fulfilled. I have no regrets. Then, this is our goodbye. Yes. Suddenly she recovers her proud attitude. However, this time was different. She was happy. Really happy. It was a pleasure to meet you. Stupid human. Ashley said with the arrogance of always, but now instead of anger, it made me feel like I was about to cry. It was fun to meet you, said the two, surprisingly in unison. Those were their last words. I feel like it could have been explored more. They then disappeared. Dispersed in the forms of the particles. Dispersed in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Without even thinking, I ran towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are the particles of light that slipped out between my fingers as if they were water. Then I see the light rise higher and higher until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero, and I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be shot by it. But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it was... Why? But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it was about... But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it wants to cry but has no tears? Why do I feel so terribly bad? Life is more than just victories or defeats. That night, I learned it in the best way. 4 a.m. I finally get out of the forest, and it was almost morning. Axel! Axel! Suddenly, I hear someone calling my name, but it is in a strange voice. It's the voice of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here. I shout without hesitation, with a bit of clumsiness because of my confusion. Oh, hello, Dante. Thanks for coming. I'm almost done with. I'm almost done with the with it though. Soon they found me and impatiently runs towards me. Where were you? The worry was killing us, Steven said with his face that I don't remember having ever seen before. How are you today, man? What's been going on? Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. Chill that, Dante. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. I couldn't find a forest exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that, I interrupted him. This game has a bunch of little minor errors, but it's a fun game. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is that we're all safe. Ah, Dante. Ah, I feel you, man. I was working all morning and just came back, played a few games, then started playing this or streaming this. Yes, you're right. I knew that they wouldn't believe my story if I told them, so I don't bother to do so. And so, as sudden as it happened, the night was left behind, being replaced by boring days, almost identical days. But at least I had achieved our goal. I had a night worthy of remembering. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. November 15th. How many classes you had today, Dante? 3? 4? Several days has passed since then. Suddenly, I see a cat walk by. Ashley? I asked without even thinking. If you didn't know, Ashley was a cat that became a human. She turns to look at me confused, but of course, she could not be who I spoke of. Oh yeah, today's Saturday. I thought today was Friday. Nice, nice, nice. The cat seemed oddly friendly with humans. She observes me with shyness, but doesn't growl at me. What much thought I decided to adopt her. Wait, what? What? Okay, maybe in hopes Ashley will come back someday. Even if that was an impossible desire, having this cute cat will make me remember Ashley forever. It might have been just a night. It was an experience I will never forget. How do you adopt a cat you just met on a sidewalk? Like, I will never forget. I hold the cat in my arms. She actually looks happy for having a new owner. Seeing her like that makes me smile. Without a doubt, you will be good company. That was not Ashley ending, alright? Ashley did not become Bae. If you notice the name of my stream, Ashley was that girl was a cat that became a girl. And I was in love with her. But then the game tells me that she dies. Like, what? How does that make... How do you make me fall in love with somebody and then you just kill them? Nah, I don't want to do it mostly because you guys already started. No, listen. She was a human first, but she was a witch human, and she was about to die and saw a cat and decided to invade the cat's soul. And in the end, he compromised, saying that if you can possess my body, just give me a place to eat and a place to sleep. Thank you, Eternal Night Studios. And then for that, I don't know how long, they both had this body together. Forever and ever. Until I met them. Okay? So but still, I don't know. It could be bestiality. Mostly because the cat's soul is still inside, you know? So because you missed it before, but I kissed Ashley. But does that mean that I kissed Ashley and the cat? Does that mean the cat liked me too? It raises possibilities and questions that won't be answered because I already got all the ending. Wait, what? There's another ending? Oh wow. How do I get this ending? I did everything. Looks like Dante about to get a new ending. Yeah, I read all through all this. See? Escape or confront. We confront. Then we skip. Then we just keep her captured. What? What's what? Then we skip her this all again. See, there's Ashley. She was that white cat. We doubt her. We don't kiss her. We believe and help her. Wait, what? Wait, how do we get this ending? Extra soundtrack. I'm still missing one ending. What the hell did I do? Oh. Got more games. Close all. Back. Back. How do I get that last ending set up? Start. Huh. That's strange. How do I don't know how to I don't know how to get that last ending. I mean, I literally did everything. Maybe it's a different choice then. Okay, because I already read through all of this, right? If we ignore the cat, we die. If we escape from the cat, we die. If we kill her, we die. You notice that we die a lot, right? Now see here, I could die from this one, but I don't die from this one. So let me trust her. But I already did that. What? Alright, hold on. Hold on. How do I get this last ending? I don't get it. Nope, nope. Wait, what? Sound like this. You sound like this? What are you talking about? Anyway, I was able to figure it out through my deductive reasoning and my planned actions. Can't send like. No, no, right, no, Dante. I got through my deductive reasoning, I think I was able to get it, pick her up. Then I escape. It is then that I notice a path I haven't seen before. Should I take this path? Yes. I mean, that's kind of like what? How would somebody know this? You know, how would somebody get this? All right, yes, I should take this path. I should face with courage whatever I can find there. 2:57 a.m. I don't know how long I have been running, but it's been some time since I last heard either the voice or meows, much to my relief. I finally stopped placing my hands on my knees, feeling that I am on the edge of fainting. I breathe through my mouth, trying to fill my lungs with as much air as I can, while my legs hurt as if they had been hammered mercilessly. But this pain does not bother me because I'm finally safe, at least temporarily. I'm still lost in the dark forest and surrounded by this rotten air, but they don't feel nearly as bad as before. I look down at the ground while trying to catch my breath. Damn, how can I get out of here? I asked, confused and frustrated. I felt really anguished. I closed my eyes and let out a long sigh. I have to calm myself. Easy. You can get out of this forest. Have a little rest and then continue walking. I'll give myself a moment, I needed it. I open my eyes and at that moment I see there something below me. I almost step on it. Because of the darkness and my desperation, I had not noticed it before. Confused, I note a small hand that comes out of the ground. It is a human hand, at least in form. With only a glimpse, I could tell that it was a toy made of metal. Without hesitation, I bent down and started to dig it out. Slowly my hands move away with the earth that hit the toy, only to discover that it was the figure of a knight. It's dirty and very worn down. Must be a very old toy. I raise the toy to my eyes, examining it carefully. Let Lien. I read aloud what the toy had written on its back. Must be the name of the person whom it belonged to. I look at it carefully, trying to think who Lillian might be. But naturally, the effort was just a waste of time. In the end, I have no other alternative than to continue walking in the dark. My break is over. Without delay, I move my feet and start to walk. This time, there is no need to run. I don't know where I might end up, but I know that I don't want to be here. 3:17 a.m. What is this place? I ask myself when I arrive at a clearing in the forest. Only a few minutes since I found the toy have passed. There's nothing strange about this place. There's something strange, but not because it's dark and oppressive as the rest of the forest. It's actually the opposite. I somehow find it nostalgic, for lack of a better word. The atmosphere here is pure and kind, as if it were a sanctuary from the darkness. I shake my head confused, but I don't give it any more thought. It may only be that I'm too far away from my cat, and that's why the curse is weaker here. At last I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange about it. How weird. Wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself, as I look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon will not come to save me. I lower my sight. It was then that I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of the trees nearby. That's why I didn't see her before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing. But if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. I may not have managed to escape, but I could wait for the sun to rise in that cabin. I am sure that when the night ends, so will my concerns. Well, without wasting any more time, I decide to enter the cabin. I open the old door slowly, observing that no one is waiting for me on the other side. Apparently it is empty. The atmosphere is quiet, it's sad silence, as if the place had been forgotten by all. As soon as I put my feet into the cabin, curiosity takes control of me. An inexplicable desire to explore the place is born in me. After all, it seemed to be the most interesting thing I could do at the moment. Although, I doubt it can beat the excitement of running for my life. Thank God. Inside, there's not much special. The first thing I notice is that it does not have many of the modern commodities, such as electricity, telephone, or water pipes. Everything is rustic. It seemed that place was even older than it appeared to be, as oppressive as that sounds. In the living room, there is a fireplace. With curiosity, I look inside of it, but there is only ash. No one had used it in a long time. At the table, I see that there were 3 empty plates. It was as if the family that lived here was getting ready to eat, except that there was no food for them. I then decide to enter the rooms. The first one has a double bed. There's not much else there. I saw just a wardrobe and a chest of drawers made of wood. Yet both were empty. If there were ever clothes in them, they must have had disappeared with the time. Then I go to the second room, and the bed is smaller. I guess only one person used it. The first thing I notice is that there are toys on the floor. Figures of animals made of wood. Also some marbles and a rag doll. Whoever lives here, or better said, lived here, did not seem to have great interest in order. However, I can't imagine that it is very important after all this time. My first impression is that the room belonged to a girl. At first sight, the room appeared to have nothing special. But after checking the place better, I found a notebook. I observed the notebook with curiosity and opened it to the first page. Everything is fuzzy, but from what little I managed to understand, it seemed to be a diary. All the pages are worn down, and the writing so blurred I couldn't understand almost anything. I go through every page until I find a fragment that was strangely preserved. Today, Dad returned home with a toy. It was a knight in silver armor, as in fairy tales. I can't even describe how happy I felt when I saw it. I immediately ran to him to give him a strong hug. This toy must have been expensive, but he said that a blacksmith owed him a favor. When I finished reading, I realized it was talking about the same toy that I have in my hands. You must be Lillian, I said, speaking to the diary without waiting for an answer. Then my curiosity led me to check the other pages until I again found a legible fragment. It was right at the end of the diary, many pages away from the day in which he got this toy. Mom woke me up suddenly in the middle of the night. She and Dad seemed to be altered. It's not like when they fight, but without a doubt something is happening to them. Mom told me to pack only what is necessary and prepare to leave. There was no time to even talk about it. Why do we have to leave? Is it very late and I'm sleepy? I want to stay in bed. After that, the diary ends abruptly without having even scrawls on other pages. It was abandoned as this house was without looking back. It sounds rather sad, but it seemed that they had an important reason to do so. It was then that I suddenly heard the sound of footsteps inside of the cabin. Yeah, I'm doing this for my PC. What happened? Something wrong? My heart freezes at the moment. I don't know why, but an incredible fear amazes me. The room's door slowly begins to open, only to reveal the person behind it. Moving up in the world. I'm doing PS4 and then I'm doing PC streams. Next, I'm gonna try to do Xbox, which will probably be Monday or something. Exclaimed the confused girl dressed in black who looked more or less my age. She has an extraordinary beauty, with golden hair and blue eyes. She is surprised to see me, but not more than I was. Is it possible that there is another person caught in this cursed forest? Why are you here? The girl asked me, her blue eyes set their gaze on me. At first she does not seem angry, but later her expression becomes more aggressive. What were you doing? She narrows her eyes as if trying to look inside of me. Sorry. I saw this cabin and I felt the urge to explore the inside. I responded immediately. I didn't think it would bother anyone. The cabin seemed abandoned long ago. I was so nervous I started to sweat. After saying that the room is surrounded by an awkward silence, the girl looks at me in silence for a few seconds before suddenly laughing. I see. You must be the knight who was calling before, she said with a sweet smile. I blinked surprised. You were the voice that I heard inside of my mind? It's hard to believe what I just heard. I remember that the voice was calling me to a place, but that evil cat would not let me pass. The girl laughed softly before nodding a couple of times. Yes, that was me. While speaking, she looks at me in the eyes with tenderness. I feel something warm in my heart just from seeing that look of hers. I actually wanted you to come to this place, but I don't know why you started to run in the opposite direction. The girl looks a little sad after saying that. However, she quickly recovers her smile. That's why I never went out. That's why I went out looking for you. I would have never imagined that you would end up here. Me neither. I was just walking without knowing where I was going, looking for the way out of this forest. I replied sincerely. I guess I'm lucky, but there's something in her voice that I don't like. Anyway, if it comes from a girl so sweet, I should be good. At that moment, I noticed that the girl never stopped staring at me. Her eyes contemplate me with so much adoration that I feel both flattered and uncomfortable. I take a step backwards because of my anxiety, but she instantly takes a step forward. Brave knight, there's something I need to ask you, the girl unexpectedly said. I don't know if that is an appropriate way of addressing me, but I cannot deny that I like it. What is it? I gulp, shortly after acting. My heart beats fast. Then the girl goes one step further, and then another. She is now so close that I can smell her faint scent. It seems that she did not know the concept of personal space. It was then that I suddenly heard something hit the ground. The surprise makes us both silent. At that moment, I realized something that should be in my hand no longer was there. Unwittingly, I dropped the night toy. My anxiety made me clumsy. That, said the girl after a short silence. The look in her eyes had changed completely. She is astonished. Suddenly something has stolen her breath. The blue eyes are no longer concentrated on me, but look down at something that is on the floor. Where did you find that? The girl acts astonished. I do not know how to react. I just slightly silently bent down to pick up the toy. Then I offer it to her kindly. After hesitating for a moment, she almost snatches it from my hands. It seemed to be something very precious to her. I found it buried in the forest. I reply kindly as I see how she embraces it, with such tenderness that makes me smile. I guess that you must be Lillian. She nods. Yes, my name is Lillian. Lillian. She then returns her gaze towards my face. Her eyes reflect a shy and pure kindness. Thank you, she said timidly. My name is Axel, and you don't have to thank me. Even if couldn't escape, it seems that I will have the same company. If all goes well, we only have to wait until the sun rises. I give one more look at Lillian. The first thing that is noticeable is her great beauty, but after seeing more carefully, I notice that there is something more. Its presence is a little strange. She blinks after realizing I'm looking at her. Immediately, I avert my sight nervously, only to hear her laugh. You're the girl who lived in this house, is that right? I asked, steeling myself for what she was going to answer. How is it that you're still in this place? I gulp. Perhaps are you some kind of ghost or something like that? Lillian looks me in the eyes with tenderness. Do I look anything like a scary ghost? She said playfully. I replied immediately, saying no, with a shaking of my head. You're right. I lived in this cabin for a long time with my family, but now it is now a thing of the past. Could you tell me about it? I asked, guided by my curiosity, without thinking that it might be something personal. Lillian closed her eyes and thought about it for a moment. I could, but only if you promise to help me before listening to it, she said, looking at me later with puppy eyes, quietly begging for my approval. I cannot stop thinking that this girl is adorable, but something does not convince me. Promise to help you? I said without much energy. Before promising that, I need to know what kind of help you want from me. My words are firm. I don't want her to act later for my soul or to drink my blood. If only. Lillian makes a childish, annoyed face for a couple of seconds. I just want a bit of your energy, Knight. If you give it to me, then I'll respond to all your questions. After saying that, she gives a tender look towards me. Would you touch this face, Dante? Would you? I do not understand what she means by energy. That's not like I'm battery. But I do have many questions that I would like to ask. I thought for a moment, but before sighing with resignation. It seems that there is no other way out. Okay, but how will I do that? I asked, looking at her confused. Lillian smiles, unexpectedly full of joy. It is very easy. Easy. You just need to kiss me, Knight. She responded as if it wasn't anything special. Did I hear her well? Kiss her? Yes, you heard her. I lost my breath just from thinking about it. It seems that coming to this forest had been a good idea after all. I suddenly feel Lillian caressing my cheek with one hand. I turn to her face only to discover that she is very close to me. Instantly I blush, but shortly after I notice something strange. Her body feels cold. I don't know how to explain it, but her presence is strangely faint. The texture of her skin is nice, but at the same time weak. Lillian smiles while she looks me in the eyes with a mischievous face. I still must reward you for giving me back my toy, she said gently, while approaching her lips to mine, slowly savoring every moment. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Soon I feel her lips against mine. At that moment I felt as if I had been possessed. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately, as if we were lovers seeing each other after a very long time. I closed my eyes. I didn't need to see, just feel the love from her lips. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed needles of ice along my back. Without thinking, I break the kiss and move away from her. What did you do? I asked, giving an astonished look at Lillian. What was happening to me? I feel cold, as if she had stolen half of the heat from my body. I also feel heavy. You don't need to fear. I just took a portion of your energy as we agreed, answered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes that begged me not to get angry with her. Don't worry, you'll soon feel better, she added shortly after. I become silent just from seeing her. I could not be angry with someone like her. Then I sigh, leaving my anger and concerns with my breath. Soon after that, I noticed that Lillian does nothing more than look at me tenderly, waiting for me to say something. It was then that I realized something. Suddenly, the presence of Lillian becomes heavier. Eh? I exclaimed with curiosity. Before, she felt almost transparent, but now I see her with solid colors. As if before she was just a reflection, and now she was real. Did you notice my knight? She asked, full of joy. Thanks to you, I can now materialize myself completely. Before, my presence was partial, dim, but now I have more power thanks to you. Lillian explained, giving me a smile. Now I understand why she wanted my help. But after hearing that, one thing is clear to me. She is not human. With that, do you have everything you wanted? I asked, a little disgusted. I can't say that I'm happy after the kiss. I still have some difficulty standing. Lillian responds with a nod. Yes, I will now respond to your questions, kind knight. Her words are honest, just like the sweet look in her eyes. Well, it seems that I can trust her. After looking at her for a moment, my lips finally move. What are you exactly, Lillian? Was my first question. No doubt it must sound strange, but there is something here that does not make sense. Are you really not a ghost? Or perhaps you're a witch? Lillian stares carefully at me before laughing softly, closing her eyes a moment. Then she looks directly into my eyes. You got one of them right, my knight. She pauses. I really am a spirit. But before I was a witch, before I was a witch who lived in this place. A spirit? I asked, confused. How is that any different from a ghost? To me, it sounded like the same thing. But then I saw Lillian shaking her head in denial. She then looks me straight in the eyes. A ghost is the soul of someone who died and which by some force it remains in this world. A spirit, on the other hand, is a different entity. They have a much more powerful presence and do not necessarily come from a dead person. Could you explain it simpler? I asked, completely lost. I guess she knew how to differentiate them, but all this was completely new for me. Lillian then laughed sweetly, as if my confusion was adorable. A ghost is someone who died, but their soul stayed on this earth. A spirit is a supernatural entity that does not need to come from a living being. An example would be fairies or spirits of the forest. That was much clearer. I silently take a moment to connect the dots. I exclaimed, thoughtful before looking back at her beautiful face. Her blue eyes patiently wait for me to say something. So you mean that you were a witch before, but somehow ended up becoming a spirit of this forest? I asked quizzically. After hearing me, Lillian nods and then gives me a smile. That's right. I was a young witch who lived in this cabin with my parents. But unfortunately, Lillian stopped suddenly. For a moment, the expression on her face seems to be full of hatred. But one instant later, she is back to normal. It must have been an error of mine. But something happened, and after death, I ended up becoming a spirit. And Lillian soon after, giving more light to the situation. When she said the last word, she gave me a sweet, small smile, looking at me with pure innocence. I understand. I murmured, however, there was still something important I wanted to know. My eyes then set on Lillian. Why were you calling me before, Lillian? I asked with a sharp look on my eyes, as if I tried to see inside of her soul. She gazes at me with tenderness. Because I needed your help, kind knight. But also to protect you. Hearing her say that surprises me. But she doesn't seem to be lying. I think you've seen it. The evil cat that lives in this forest. She is an evil spirit. The image of the cat flashes in my mind at that moment. She is right. It was because of that cat that I ended up in this place. Surely the cat is the one who created this rotten and sinister atmosphere. Before I was happy as the spirit of this forest. The joy that surrounded me gave me energy that fed me. But since that cat appeared, nobody has come. That's why I couldn't keep my material form. I had to steal your energy. I see. Is all the fault of that cat? I said with a better idea of the situation. Finally, there is only one last thing I'm curious about. Lillian, do you know something about the disappearances of 5 men which took place in this forest? Lillian seems surprised by my question, but she quickly regains her composure. With a fragile look in her eyes, she nods twice. Yes, they are dead. The cat stole the vital energy, killing them. That's how she acquires more power. Wait, isn't that the same thing you did with me? I asked, confused. Lillian immediately shakes her head while showing me the palms. In a shy gesture that said I was wrong. It's very different. She didn't stop and ended up taking all life from them. I wouldn't kill such a kind knight like you, who voluntarily came to me to give me something so precious. Explained Lillian. Basically, they had the same power, but different intentions. I understand, I said, thinking about it for a moment with my sight down. I then returned my eyes to Lillian. I still had one doubt left. Why have all the disappearances occurred on Halloween? Because it is the only night in which we can materialize, answered Lillian quickly, speaking with perfect calmness as if it were something ordinary. Fortunately, my look of confusion seems enough to tell her that I didn't understand well what she meant. During the night of Halloween, magic becomes more powerful. All the other days I am only an invisible being that cannot do more than observe this forest. But on the night of Halloween, I am able to show my presence and I appear. You're trying to say that during the other days you don't have any powers? I asked curiously. That would explain well what was happening. I guess it would be the same case for the cat, only in this night she can be dangerous. Lillian nods. Yes, that's right, brave knight. The look in her eyes is sincere. I see. Thank you very much. That was everything I wanted to know. Now stab! Okay. I never thought that I would say something like this on this night, but her answers had been of great help. Finally, I felt more confident and not as lost as before. Now the only thing left was to wait for the sunrise in his cabin. Fortunately, the atmosphere here seems more friendly and calm. Once the sun rises, I could escape without problems. I would have survived the wickedness of that cat. I was lost in my thoughts when suddenly I noticed the look Lillian had upon me. Her eyes tell me she wants to ask me something else. Is something wrong, Lillian? I ask, not knowing what to expect. Lillian instantly responds with a nod. Kind knight, now that you know the truth, there's a special mission in which I will need your help. I want you to help me defeat the cat and break this curse. Her words leave me at a loss for breath. Defeat her? But how could I do something? But what could I do against the cursed cat? I'm just a normal person. Without a doubt, I like to put an end to the curse, but I can't take impossible tasks. After hearing me, Lillian's eyes lit up with hope. You don't have to fear, knight. You're much stronger than you look. You have a large amount of magical energy sleeping within you. Lillian pauses. You also have my support. Lillian then gets closer to me. Having her so close makes me nervous. I hope she doesn't want more energy, although I wouldn't complain if she wants another kiss. Do you really need my help, Lillian? It sounded too dangerous. I would prefer not to be in a fight. She nods before looking at me with pleading eyes, silently begging me for help. Yes, it's necessary. The cat and I have very evenly matched powers, but your presence, knight, that could give me the victory. There's nothing but tenderness in her blue eyes. It's hard to say no to a look like that. My heart beats fast with anxiety. Honestly, I don't want to meddle between them, but if what she says is true, that I can make a difference and put an end to this curse once and for all, then I have to do it. Okay, I'll help you kill the cat and end the curse. I said full of determination. It's hard to believe the words that came out of my mouth, but there are times that we have to be strong. I cannot forget that she has killed innocents before. Lillian seemed surprised to hear me say that. No, she suddenly said. Don't kill her. After saying that, she stays silent. She seems scared. I look at her without understanding what is wrong. If you kill her, she will later be reincarnated as a more evil and more powerful being. This is the first time that I see Lillian this worried. No doubt it's something serious. Knight, please trust me. The best thing we can do is to capture her. That is precisely the mission I had for you. Capture her? I repeat, confused, staring into her eyes. Lillian nods. Yes, if you see that she tries to take her own life, you must stop her. Just hold her for a few seconds. She will be enough. That'll be enough for me to imprison her. Then why don't you kill yourself? Wait, what? Why didn't she kill herself earlier then? What? That will be enough for me to imprison her. Lillian explains, looking at me again with puppy eyes. And how am I supposed to do that? I ask, not fully convinced of this plan. My reflexes are not better than a cat for sure. I'll use my magic to strengthen your body. As soon as the combat starts, she will place all her attention on me. So when you see that she's about to take her life, you must move as fast as you can and hold her, brave knight. Lillian said, placing all of her trust in me. Okay, I understand. I answered, full of determination, that this was our plan of a counterattack. With my help, this long curse will finally break. Very well. You can count on me, Lillian. After hearing me, Lillian is full of joy. She closes her eyes for a moment. When she opens them, she gives me a look filled with love along with a radiant smile. For a second, I felt as if we had been in love for years, something beautiful but false. More than anything that will help her, more than saying that I will help her, it seemed like I was making a bigger commitment, and therefore a more cherished one. As if I had promised that I would always be her ally. In any case, I was happy to see her so happy. Happy. She must have been alone for a long time. However, suddenly her expression changes. From one second to the next, Lillian gives an expression of anguish. Something was bothering her. The cat approaches. Soon she will be here. Hearing her say that made my heart skip a beat. Anxiety grows in me. Apparently Lillian noted it because she unexpectedly gave me a sweet smile. Fear not, gentle knight, she said tenderly before making a more serious face. Quickly, give me a kiss so I can strengthen your body. A kiss? Not even able to finish my sentence before Lillian, impatient, planted a new kiss on my lips. Soft, pleasant, delicious. Kissing her is a wonderful feeling that makes my heart beat faster. This time, I do not feel weaker. All the opposite. Her kiss filled me with energy and power. Lillian's kiss would be the best way to make up every day. Better than coffee or a sudden cold shower, I thought, joking with myself. However, before we finish our kiss, suddenly something attacks us with such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. Can't even begin to imagine what did that. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. The blow was sufficiently strong enough to push me away from Lillian. She seems as equally surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Oh, by the way, this is her favorite word. Idiot. She's a girl with white hair and red eyes that I had never seen before. But somehow she appears to know me. The way she looks at me makes me think that. How impatient you are, Ashley. Don't you see I was having an intimate moment with my knight? Responded Lillian with a mysterious smile on her face. Or is it that you are jealous because men prefer me? No wonder you are just an annoying brat. The girl with red eyes, Ashley, sets her eyes on Lillian, seeing her as an enemy. I won't let you leave this place. I'll never let you. There's anger in her words, but there's also something strange. She doesn't sound evil. She seems rather to be on the defensive. Strange, but that is my impression. Lillian chuckles after hearing that, hiding her lips behind a hand with elegance. You're wrong. This will be the night of your defeat. Ashley makes snorts in anguish. I didn't want to do this, but I think I have no chance. Unexpectedly, just as she finished speaking, she jumps at me with extraordinary speed. I am more than impressed, however. I managed to dodge her somehow, jumping towards Lillian. When my feet touch the ground, I'm right next to her. Lillian smiles, and then a strong current of air pushes Ashley away from us. What the hell? Magic, without a doubt. You giant idiot! Ashley shouted, falling with perfect balance as one might expect of a cat. There was no further explanation, had to be her. Otherwise, the attack and the fact they knew each other, it wouldn't make sense. Do you know what you're doing? You're endangering everyone. You're wasting your time, Lillian said without even giving me time to think about it. He already had chosen to be my ally. Axel is my knight. Together we will defeat you, Ashley. Without a doubt, that was what I had promised. But Lillian was acting different from before. She was arrogant and seemed to enjoy it. The girl that hisses with anger, imitating an angry cat. She even shows me her teeth. Her nails grew at that time. You really are an idiot, she said, furious, with her red eyes gazing at me. I'm the good one. That princess behind you is the one who killed them all. Eh? I exclaimed, confused, before seeing how Ashley jumps to dodge a ball of energy, translucent as if it was made of hot air, but with a power so great that it opened a hole in the ground where she was standing. It was Lillian who shot it from the tip of her fingers. I can feel a huge and unknown energy concentrate on her hand. However, what most surprises me is the expression on her face. A malicious smile draws on her lips. Was she having fun? Why would fighting to break the curse be fun? I look at the face of Ashley to compare it. It is just the opposite. Ashley appeared to be in agony, worried about what would happen while giving her all. Why do you believe all of her words? Ashley shouted before dodging another ball of energy. The blast echoed in my ears. I just wanted to scare them away. She is the one who stole the energy of those men to consummate her revenge. Once again, I am lost for breath. Now, the seed of doubt is planted in my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm even more confused than before. Something is wrong with the two. Both Ashley and Lillian do not appear to be what they say. At least I cannot believe in them. Shut up! Lillian yelled furious at the same time that she fires a large bolt of lightning at her. The attack is so fast and powerful that she cannot avoid it. Then Lillian turns to look at me. And I do not fall for her lies. She's just trying to confuse you. Lillian looks at me in the eyes with indescribable tenderness. The change in her emotions is so drastic that I don't know how I feel on the matter. You believe me, don't you? She ended with a kind and innocent smile. However, before being able to say something, we are interrupted. A grave wave of translucent energy hits Lillian, knocking down part of the cabin. The blast was tremendous, so much I am stunned, speechless. Again, it was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job, an unstoppable force. Curse you! I'll make you pay! Lillian cried furious, cleaning up the blood on her lips. Wait. Despite the monstrous hit, she was almost completely clean. You deserve it for flirting in the middle of a match. Ashley scolded her, looking furious too. After saying that, Ashley and Lillian resumed their fierce and fantastical fight, using powers that I cannot even begin to understand, much less describe. Either way, one thing is certain: I don't want to be in this wrecked cabin. However, as soon as I moved, I unexpectedly stepped on something. Eh? Confused, I looked down only to find the toy knight. It must have fell from Lillian's hands after the attack. My eyes set on it, everything became silent. I watched, fascinated, as if it was the most interesting thing that existed, ignoring the incredible combat that takes place right in front of my eyes. This toy calls me. Something in it is calling me. Without even thinking, I pick it up from the ground. It is at that time that I am transported to another place. No, that's an error. I'm still in the cabin as before. However, what has changed is the time. The cabin now looks clean and full of life, almost as if it were new. I find myself extending both hands, palms up, waiting to receive something. My eyes look up, beholding the loving smile of an older man, with a beard but almost no hair. Without hesitation, he puts something in my hands. It's cold and hard. It has a familiar shape. It is a toy knight. Having it in my hands fills me with great joy. It was something that I had desired so much, but never hoped to have. It was too expensive, too unnecessary. But I still dreamed to see a knight in shining armor. Since long ago had been one of my whims. To see this futile dream fulfilled fills me with an unexplained happiness. Someone heard it. This unnecessary dream that even the owner had hopelessly abandoned. There was someone who picked it up and gave it life. What could I call something like that but love? Being able to hold it in my hands meant more to me than any other gift. Even if they had offered me the bag of gold in its place, it would not be the same. Without hesitation, the first thing I did was engrave my name on it. Lillian. This belongs to me. It is mine and mine alone. The next second I'm in the forest. My legs hurt and I'm out of breath. I'm terribly tired. I just want to rest a little, but suddenly my father takes my hand. He is angry, or rather desperate. He forces me to continue running. Our escape was cut short, however. Soon the toy would fall to the ground, stained with blood. It was a surprise attack. Only I would survive. miraculously survived those wounds that should have been fatal. It was a meaningless miracle. The next day, it wouldn't be more than ash. He was burned at the stake, apparently. Sad, sad, sad way. Why can't we? Why can't we all be loved? Wait, I forgot the name of the song. When I return to the real world, I feel there is something on my face. With a frozen expression, I touch it only to discover that they were tears. I look at my hand for a few seconds, completely lost in that image. I hear nothing. I see nothing else. I just think. There's something twisted in all this. Lillian here is the same Lillian I saw, but not completely. But not completely. Definitely something is missing from her. She is just a piece. Suddenly I shake my head. There's something I need to see. Ashley and Lillian continue fighting, using all kinds of extraordinary powers. Ashley shoots lightning bolts to Lillian, but she reflects them with an almost invisible shield. Lillian smiles. Just at the same time, she covers her body with a huge darkness, which later takes the form of a huge snake. The serpent of darkness attacks Ashley, but she manages to dodge it thanks to her great reflexes. Why are you doing this? Ashley acts angry. At the same time, she fires a red lightning bolt. But it did not seem to be made of electricity, but of a different energy. The lightning hits the snake, dispersing some of the thick darkness. A long time has passed. The people who hurt you are already gone. There isn't even a memory of the crime committed here anymore. The only thing here is a village of innocent people, Ashley said just before Lillian attacked her again. This time she is not fast enough. The serpent tears her side, causing a serious wound. However, in front of my eyes, I see it reduced to nothing in just a moment. It is that you have forgotten the feeling of tears falling down your cheeks and blood escaping from your body until you lose all of your heat. Lillian responds without hesitation. Her answer turns me into stone. No matter how many times I want to forget it, no matter how much time passes, for me, it remains as vivid as when it happened. I cannot live otherwise if it's not like this. Every day it eats me from the inside. Apparently, Lillian had discarded the good girl act, or had forgotten about me. They're not wasting time. Ashley attacks, firing a red lightning bolt even bigger than the previous. She was giving everything in that fight. Lillian responds, throwing all the darkness that covers her to Ashley, revealing her human body. Darkness and light collide, causing an explosion. For a moment, everything was covered by a white light, accompanied by a deafening noise. When my vision returns, I see that both Ashley and Lillian are seriously injured. They gasp for air while staring into the eyes of the other. I have no doubts. Ashley was telling the truth. It was not the cat who killed those men, but Lillian, because of her desire for revenge, or rather her inability to forget the pain of what they did to her. Lillian is an aggressor, but she is also a victim. She is also suffering. I press the toy in my hands with all my strength and anxiety. I don't know what to do, but I know I don't want to stay here idly. I must intervene. It was then that unexpectedly in front of my eyes, something happens that leaves me speechless. This is enough. I won't let you disturb me anymore. This will be the night I will defeat you. Lillian said at the same she gathers an incredible magic. Dozens of snakes of darkness revolve around her, floating in the air. She was preparing to cast an enormous spell. Just drop kick her. Oh, there's my image. Try if you can, princess. I won't let you hurt anybody again. I replied, Ashley, doing the same thing, only that in her case, the energy takes the form of a red and white light. An immense power surrounds each, revealing the nature of the interior. It was easy to know what they were planning. The intensity of the energy covering them at the time leaves me speechless. It is something that I had never seen before. Immeasurable, indescribable, and above all that, fascinating. Wait! I shout desperately, trying to stop them, but they can't hear me. In the world they are now, only the two of them exist. Before I knew it, my legs began to move with extraordinary speed, thanks to the spell of Lillian. The two activate their spells at the same time. They yell with all of their might and heart. The stream of red and white light advances unstoppable against another of darkness, moving in the opposite direction, as if they were two trains about to collide. Stop! I yell from the bottom of my soul, possessed by the desire to stop them before they hurt themselves anymore. I don't know why, but something inside me pushes me to do so. The feeling I had was like seeing two great friends fighting to the death. In any case, I don't have time to question what I do. It was already done. Before I knew it, I was already between the two. I opened my eyes with disbelief when I realized it. My eyes reflect the intense light that becomes brighter by the instant until it hits me, making a monstrous roar. An explosion like nothing else I had ever seen before, with me in the center of it. At that moment, everything turned white. All sounds, all images, all the smells and sensations were gone. I was left alone, abandoned in an empty white. How can I describe what it feels like, to leave this world? It was as if I had been pushed into the sea and I sank quickly, leaving behind the world from where I came. Even if I stretch my hand, I cannot reach it. I just continue to sink until the image of the surface disappears. The only difference is that here, there is no darkness. Instead, it is white, an eternal white. I cannot speak. Moving is impossible, considering that I even have a body. The only thing I do is sink deeper with every passing second. All I do, I can't help but feel sad, or rather nostalgic. I just entered this place and already I feel as if I had spent years here. Suddenly, the white becomes something different. The internal white changes to green and turns into a forest. There's a cabin in the forest. In the cabin there are three people. My mom, my dad, and I. No, that is a mistake. I am not me. I is Lillian. Lillian and Ashley, the real one. Not those two who were fighting before. Now I understand it. When did this shift perspectives? What? I thought I was Axel. Now I'm Lillian. Ashley. Now I understand. I am not deaf. That the power did not exterminate me, but showed me a window into their inside. Oh, okay. Lillian and Ashley are two names, but belong to the same person. Because the parents could not decide, they gave her a middle name. Now I understand it. You idiot. Do not die. I played this game because I was testing my OBS. And it was free. It was there. I clicked on it. It opened. And I just went with it. You idiot! Do not die! Suddenly I hear the voice of Ashley calling me. There's concern mixed with anger in her voice. Hearing it fills me with delight. My knight, resist! Then I hear the voice of Lillian. I can hear her just as concerned as Ashley. Despite being evil, she felt something for me. I guess it's impossible to have a 100% evil spirit. I'm alive. I murmured with a difficulty. I felt 10 times worse than waking up on a Monday at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to school, and that is saying a lot. Slowly I regain my senses and start to perceive the world again. Shapes and sounds become clearer. As soon as I say that, both girls sigh with relief. How can you be so stupid? Like, you gotta say idiot. Ashley roared furiously. Although I don't blame her in the least. On the contrary, I believe she's right. Don't do something so dangerous. If possible, I would prefer not to kill you. After saying that, she closes her eyes and crosses arms, making an arrogant gesture. My knight, then whispered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes. I am lucky. My sacrifice was able to stop them, at least for now. Here, I think this belongs to you. I said at the same time I placed the toy in the hands of Lillian. She looks at me, more than surprised. She simply couldn't believe it. I had no words. I don't know how to say it, but I feel that this toy is what saved my life. It was no coincidence that I found it. It must have been waiting for someone. Someone who could finally break the curse without killing her. That, that toy you have there is Ashley murmured as surprised as Lillian. Her cheeks were slightly red, making her look adorable. It seems that even she can be cute when she wants to. That also belongs to you. Am I right? So I said shortly before standing. I already felt a little better. Still tired, but not as bad as before. Without thinking, I cleaned the dirt on my clothes with my hands. Suddenly, everything had become too quiet. Confused, I looked at Ashley's face, and then Lillian's. They are cold, and more still than a statue. How could you know? The two cried in unison, destroying the short calm that was surrounding us. It was almost as loud as the explosion of before, almost fall to the ground from the impression. Then they stared at me, narrowing their eyes as if trying to see inside me. Slightly, there was something slightly funny about seeing them acting like this. I inhaled to fill my lungs with air and my heart with courage. That toy told me. I don't know how it could happen, but I'm sure that was it. Since I found it, I felt a mysterious force guiding me, and during the match it showed me scenes from your past. After saying that, I looked at their faces. Both had the same thoughtful expression. They apparently had some difficulty believing it, but at the same time, they couldn't discard the possibility so easily. Could it be that in all these years, it was collecting magical energy? Ashley asked herself with her sight down and one hand under her chin while thinking deeply. Yes, I'm eating this. That is the only explanation. It was filled with magical energy and relived his memories. Responded Lillian, thinking just as deep on the subject. After that, they both nodded at the same time. It was funny and adorable. Thanks, Santi, for staying here, though. Well, I hope you left a like and subscribe and stuff. Thank you for being here, Dante. However, I quickly erased the smile from my face. It wasn't going to stay like this. This is nothing more than a small truce. Next year will be the same. I have to put an end to this curse. You two are the same person, am I right? So why do you have to fight? I asked, knowing that they would not take it well, but I couldn't avoid doing so. Instantly, both crossed their arms, making an angry face. It's her fault. This princess can't forget what happened and wants to take revenge on the people, even though hundreds of years have passed. As she angrily responded, at that she had a good point, but now that I've seen the past of the two, I think I can understand why that is. Don't lie. It's the fault of that cat. She always wants to act like a saint, but she doesn't even understand how horrible I feel inside. Every day, every night, I can't simply stay here doing nothing, Lillian added. Fortunately, she didn't have any intention to fight, for now. At the time that I was going to be buried alive at the stake, White Cat was watching nearby. A White Cat was watching nearby. Using the last of my power, I managed to transfer my soul to her. I thought that would be the end. Soon, the desire for revenge grew in me. So much that it took a life of its own. My soul was fragmented. Ashley explained with complete seriousness. Lillian does not protest. This was the truth. That was the pure truth. I took a deep breath in preparation for what I had to do. Idiots. I unexpectedly seen the angry faces from the two as a response. That one saying idiot is the idiot. Ashley instantly replied, however soon her anger disappears. She blushes embarrassed when I set my sight on her red eyes. I wait a couple of seconds before speaking. You are misinterpreting what you feel. You loved your family, isn't that right? It's because you love them that it hurts to have lost them. I'm not saying that it's okay to seek revenge. That is cruel. But do not bury and ignore your pain. Don't call it evil. It's only human. It seems that my words had some effect. Ashley, after a few seconds, lowered her sight, looking troubled. After saying that, I turned to look at Lillian. She blinked. Her blue eyes are anxious, as if they were impatient to know why I had to say it. Impatient to know why I had to say to her. It's the same for you. You're not a demon. There's a part of you that could be good girl, Lillian. There's some good in you. I don't think that everything you told me was a lie, or that the joy in which I saw you hugging that toy wasn't all an act. I paused while I remembered those moments. I know where it hurts. The one who suffers the most from revenge is yourself, I added. There's no more to say. Lillian liked Ashley, lowers her head, questioning herself, looking sad and pensive. I can't help but think that having that toy in her hands helps to smooth her pain. Yes, you're right. The truth is that I hate them. I hate those damn idiots for what they did to me. It hurts a lot. We were innocent. Ashley cried furious, revealing her hidden feelings. Yes, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt anybody. No matter how many I kill, I will never be able to turn back time or revive the dead. Lillian confessed, with sadness in her voice. After saying that, they looked at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds before giving the other a gentle smile. It was like seeing a couple of sisters forgiving themselves after years of enmity. I was pleased, grateful. I cannot ask for a better end. I just stared at them while they were looking into their eyes, feeling a great satisfaction. I met them just this evening, but somehow I bonded with them. Ashley extends her hand to Lillian with perfect elegance in a gesture as if inviting her to have a dance. Lillian nods and then accepts her hand. It was then that I suddenly see how they slowly begin to disappear. Both are dispersed in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Suddenly the two turned to gaze at me, giving me their last smile. It was a pleasure to meet you, No, I guess I can't call you stupid or an idiot anymore. It is a pity, but it was a pleasure to meet you, human. Ashley said that with the same arrogance as always, but this time she seemed to have more respect. I am more than proud to hear it. Maybe if you hadn't attacked me at the beginning, we could have talked some more. Yes, it is a bad habit I have. She smiles, a little ashamed, knowing that my words are the truth. Thanks for helping us find the peace that we needed. Goodbye, noble knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. You were right when you said that not everything was a lie. I enjoyed the time we spent together, even if short. I am glad that I didn't kill you. I'm glad too. Yeah, thank you. Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart, despite of what she says. Is there no way you could stay? I asked, being stubborn, but I didn't want things to end like this. Me too, man. Me too. We can start again, a new life, and become good friends. I would like to, but my existence, the purpose of my life, has already been fulfilled. Thank you for freeing me of these painful feelings I was carrying. Thank you for showing me that not everyone is evil, and there are still good people like you. Thank you for trusting in me despite my corrupted soul. Then, this is goodbye. Yes. It was fun to meet you, said the two unexpectedly in unison. It was nice to meet you too. These 3 days, I got to know Ashley, then Lillian. Those were the last words before disappearing while holding hands. Without thinking, I ran towards them, Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are the particles of light that slipped out between my fingers as if it was water. Then I see the light rise higher and higher until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. It ended too soon. I would like to see you again someday. I murmured to the night sky, watching it with loving, watching it longing, for a couple of minutes, as if waiting for something to occur. But naturally, there is no response. Now the only thing that stays with me is an unfulfilled desire, my desire to have a second chance with them. At least I know that at the end of their lives they could find some happiness. Now I could only get out of the forest. I know that no one would believe my story if I tell it, but at least I had achieved what was our main goal. Unforgettable night. It was unforgettable. Ah. Wait, don't let that be the. You what? What? Ah. I can't believe that was the end. There could be more. Whoever's watching, there could be more. There could have been more. But there is not more. Thanks for playing. Well, thank you for making the game. Thank you, Eternal Night Studios, 2015-2017. Axel. Axel. Suddenly I feel someone shaking my shoulder, impatiently while he calls my name. Immediately I open my eyes, discovering that it's Stephen. What are you doing sleeping? Class is about to start. He said, looking at me as if I was doing something weird. I don't answer him. I look at my surroundings, making sure where I was. Yes, it's true. I'm at school, waiting for another boring day of classes to start. Oh my god, no, I think I know what's gonna happen. My biggest struggle for this day was trying not to fall asleep. Sorry, it's just that last night I couldn't sleep well. I had a strange dream. A strange dream? Murmured Alfred showing some interest. Yes, that's what it was. Just a strange dream. I was about to explain it, but Stephen interrupted me. It's important. It's not important. We're awake now. What's important, however, is that what will happen today. And what is that you consider so important? Well, according to my investigations, there's going to be a new female transfer student today. Yep. As usual, he's more interested in girls than in my fantastic dreams. Now that I think about it, I don't remember hearing before that a student would be transferred. With curiosity, I hear what my classmates around me are talking about. They all are talking about the same thing. Well, I guess I just wasn't paying attention. They say that this girl is gorgeous. No, even though word gorgeous is not enough to describe her. Stephen added, it was easy to tell he was more than eager to meet her. You need to learn how to be more suitable or subtle. Attention, the teacher is coming. Alfred said, warning that it was time to return to our seats. Shortly after, we see the teacher enter, a man about 40 years, bald, with glasses, carrying a couple of thick books. After a cordial greeting, the teacher prepares to introduce the new student. Well, as everyone knows today, a new student will join our class. Remember, be nice to her. After saying that, we see the door opening. I feel that everyone in the room is impatient to see The atmosphere of the place is loaded with cravings. However, when I last see her face, I get the biggest surprise of my life. Greetings. My name is Lillian Ashley Gwyndion. Nice. It is pronounced Guindion. Guindu. Guindion. Guinindon. Guinindon. She said, ending with a friendly smile. She is unquestionably a girl of great beauty. She must be the only one here who was surprised by something else. Lillian Ashley? I shout without thinking. I just don't believe it. Everyone then gives me a strange look at that moment, as if I had something on my face. Yep. But I don't care. The surprise was too big to hide it. Hello, Axel. Good to see each other again. Ah! She said, giving me a sweet smile. At the same time, she waves her hand, blushing slightly embarrassed. Wait, what? Blushing slightly embarrassed? What? I cannot answer. I simply have no voice. My mind is blank. She is Lillian and Ashley, the real girl. She is not Lillian. She is not Ashley. She is both. Lillian Ashley. She looked just like that in the memories I've had of her. That's her real appearance, before her soul was fragmented. I thought I would never see her again. It was then that without thinking I checked the date on my phone. What I find causes me to lose my breath. 8:03 a.m. October 31st. It's simply not possible. Time to move back. I had the feeling that it was something more than a dream. For a second I doubted, but now I'm not. But now I'm sure. That night was real, as it is this day. This year I will be blessed with living Halloween twice. Lillian then blushed, knowing that she was the center of attention of everyone there. Well, I'm really shy to talk about me. But there's one thing I would like to say before sitting in my seat to begin the class. Up. Something in honor of this special day. Oh, wait, what is it? The world then became silent, waiting for what that beautiful girl had to say. Lillian takes a moment to gather courage before looking at us all by tilting her head gently, giving us her best smile. A radiant smile full of happiness. Trick and treat. Why? It ends with that. Why? It ends with. I couldn't have ended better. Alright. I like that ending. Could be more romance, but you know, it's fine. And that's it. Go to extra, go to endings. I got everything. If I just click on one, then what happens? Come here, you'll be safe. Yeah, that's when she kills me. And then if I click this, it. Man, this was a long ending. Back soundtrack. I like that. Oh well, thanks for anybody who's tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. I'm gonna probably go for another free original novel. Not sure yet, but if you're here to see it, thank you, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. See ya.